Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Read Asphyxia. I would just like to grab this opportunity to give a shout out to a subscriber named Destala, who has been regularly commenting on the videos of this series. So thank you Destala for your support. It's a huge thing for someone like me who's only starting with this Let's Play thing. So thank you so much. It means a lot. Okay, so let's get back to the story. In the last episode, the girls decided to share some of their horror stories, and Samantha is about to share a poem she wrote. So let's start. So, how was it? Did you enjoy it? It doesn't really have any bearing on real life, does it? It's just fancy. It was interesting. I suppose I somewhat enjoyed it, but what happens next? What do you mean? The story. It just ends without any kind of conclusion. It's not very satisfying. I haven't really thought that far ahead yet. I'm not very good at forward thinking. I just wanted to write something in that kind of setting, with those kinds of characters. You mean two lesbians? You can interpret it however you want, really. Isn't that one of the joys of poetry? It's not a case of interpretation. It was pretty out in the open. They start sharing the same bed the moment they first met each other. That's because it's Gothic. Emotions are always hidden in Gothic stories. I thought it made sense anyway. You'll just have to suspend your disbelief. Well, I thought it was very atmospheric. Thank you, Percy. I just hope everything works out for Christabel in the end. I hope things work out for her too. Anyway, Since Sam shared her story, I think it's Roberta's turn now. Why? I never said I was going to take part. This is silly. Oh, come on, Bobby, don't be like that. We're just having a bit of fun. Well, it isn't fun for me. I have no desire to sit here and tell those stories. Like you had no desire to sit and play the game of life? You have already broken one of your vows tonight, Bobby. You may as well break another. This is exactly the sort of reckless attitude I would expect from you, Georgia. Why, thank you. Rules exist to be broken, personal rules more than others. How can you ever hope to expand your horizons if you allow your mind to be so constrained? No matter what you say, that does not change the fact that telling horror stories is an asin in practice. I want no part in it. Huh? Are you scared, Bobby? Is that why you're being so uptight? Even more so than usual? I'm not being uptight. It's ridiculous, that's all. We should be asleep. We need to be up by 7:30 tomorrow and it must be 11 already. The teachers will be checking our rooms to see whether we're in our beds or not. And if they discover we're still awake, we will get in trouble. They won't bother coming inside. If we keep the lights turned off and our voices low, nobody will know. It will be our little secret. Don't look at me like that. Like what? Like I'm a chicken and you're a wolf. It's troubling. You don't like it? Not one bit. Already said I didn't. Are you sure? Some masochistic chickens might enjoy being eaten. Well, I wouldn't. Don't worry, Bobby. I don't bite that much. Stop being so disgusting. You're trying my patience, Georgia. Only because it's so enjoyable, Bobby. I'll tell you what. If you promise to share with us a scary story, then I'll stop bothering you. I'll even try to remember to be civil to you for the rest of our trip. How does that sound? It sounds half-hearted. Being civil to somebody for 2 days should not be such a difficult task. I agree, it should not be, especially for a lady such as myself. But you do it make it rather hard for a girl to be civil towards you, Bobby. I'm sure you must understand this better than anyone. How do you battle back your feelings of revulsion when you look at your reflection in the mirror every morning? Alright, I'll try to tell a story. I have little interest in the subject matter though, so I cannot promise you anything. Oh, this should be good. A private reading performed by dear old Bobby herself. Are you being sarcastic, Georgia? Who? Me? Never. I'm scandalized that you would accuse me of such a thing, Bobby. Yes, yes. Anyway, Once upon a time. Once upon a time? I thought we were supposed to be telling horror stories, Bobby, not fairy tales. I am going to tell this story if only you will be so silent so that I may finish it. That's right. Don't interrupt, Georgia. Alright, I'm listening. Somebody has been eating my porridge. Somebody has been eating my porridge. Somebody has been eating my porridge and they've eaten all it up. Somebody has been sitting in my chair. Somebody has been sitting in my chair. Somebody has been sitting in my chair and they've broken it. Somebody has been lying on my bed. Somebody has been lying on my bed. Somebody has been lying in my bed and here she is. To finish my story, feel free to say anything. Anything. I would if I could, Bobby, but at the moment, I'm lost for words. Consider that an accomplishment, for it doesn't happen often. Oh, what do you mean? I mean, I'm astounded by your idiocy. Idiocy? What was so idiotic about my story? It wasn't really a horror story. Of course it was. They were a family of bears. Bears! I thought you would like that reveal, Georgia. You did, after all, try to argue on behalf of keeping a bear in your dorm room. Oh, so included that twist for me? I feel flattered, Bobby. It is a shame your story fell short. What was wrong with it? It sounded more like a children's fairy tale to me, and an incredibly moralizing one at that. Well, breaking into other people's homes and eating their food is wrong. The old woman should be punished for it. Then you should have made the bears eat her. That at least would have made the story a bit more exciting. They wouldn't eat her. It would be out of character. Weren't you listening? They were good and gentle bears. They're the wronged heroes of this piece, so they certainly can't commit murder. Anyway, the punishment has to fit the crime. Theft is not punishable by death in this day and age. And you wonder why people think you're such a bore. You cannot even use your imagination when trying to tell a story. I'm not a bore. I'm trying to teach people important life lessons. What's wrong, pray tell, with having morals? They're all so insipid, that's all. It's dull. Maybe if you threw in a few more zombies, it could work. That's your solution to everything, Samantha. You're being too easy on her, Sam. There's no salvaging Bobby's story. She has absolutely no talent. In fact, she is void where talent goes to die. My genius is something you can't understand, that's all. Just because I prefer to write about simple things, important things, it does not mean I have no talent. Wow, somebody sounds defensive. Oh well, fools are always the ones who complain the loudest. Being angry is the privilege of a loser, so I won't take that away from you, Bobby, my friend. You can go too far, Georgia. Oh, whatever. Who cares? I don't care at all anymore. I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. Roberta? sorry, Bobby. Roberta? Roberta, wake up. Roberta! Roberta! Sam? What is it? Hi. Hi, I'm sorry for waking you. I know it was wrong of me, but I couldn't sleep. What do you mean? What time is it? It's so dark in here. I'm not sure. I think it's 4 in the morning. 4? Or maybe 5. I don't know. Jeez. What a pain. I know I'm a pain. Please forgive me for being such a thorn in your side, Bobby. I had a bad dream and I don't know if I'll be able to get back to sleep again. To tell you the truth, I feel a little shaken. So you're saying you can't get back to sleep? That's right. What are you, 6 years old? I'm 17 actually. I know that's stupid. So what do you want from me? I know this might sound silly, but I was wondering if I could share your bed for a little while. It looks more inviting than my own does right now. These beds are tiny, Sam. I can hardly fit in it myself without adding you two. I know, but we used to sleep together a lot when you were little. Don't you remember? Of course I remember. How could I forget? We tossed and turned all night like a paraplegic octopus. I've lost count of how many times you woke me up by jamming an elbow or knee into my side. I'm sorry about that. I always have been restless. I think I was even more so back then. I'm not sure about this. Why not? We used to do it all the time. We did, but it has been a while, Sam. A good 4 years. We're both a lot bigger now than we were then. There won't be enough room. I know, but can't we do it just once more? For old time's sake? Why do you care about the old times all of a sudden? You didn't seem to before. I'm sorry, Bobby. I shouldn't have disturbed you. If you don't want me, I'll understand. Oh, Samantha. What is it? How can I turn you down now when you look at me with such big eyes? I would feel cruel. But you don't need to bow to my whims. I was behaving like a spoiled child. Perhaps you were, but I'm used to it. You always do. And we have known one another since we were children, after all. But aren't you sleepy? I am sleepy. Given somebody just woke me up, I doubt I will be able to fall asleep again. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. You're just fishing for reassurance now. Perhaps. Now stop standing there. Get in. I'm getting cold. Well, if you don't mind having me, it will be something of a tight squeeze, but I can manage. Just make sure you don't fall asleep in here. If Georgia wakes up and sees us like this, she'll tease us mercilessly. I'll keep that in mind. This is pretty nostalgic, huh? Indeed. I feel as though I've reverted back to the days of my childhood. Technically, we're still children. Not for much longer. That's right. I don't feel any different than I did when I was a little girl standing outside your bedroom door at night, wondering whether I should knock or not. I still feel just as small, insignificant, and unsure of myself as I did back then. You may feel the same, but you have still changed, Sam. You really think so? Of course, I can tell. For one, you were less hesitant about waking me up this time. Forgive me, Roberta. It's only because we have known one another for so long. Then should I take it as a sign of our closeness? If you wish. Well, even though I don't like being woken at such a time, I can say I'm entirely unhappy. Are you sure? I'm sure. Being relied on is nice in its own way, I suppose. Thank you, Bobby. You're welcome. Forgive me for asking such a sensitive question, but I have to know. You are seeking my sympathy because you could not have Lillian's, aren't you? I'm sorry, Bobby. I really am. I thought as much. Are you mad at me? No, I'm not mad. You're not? No. I'd already prepared myself for such a response. You were mad earlier though, because I was stressed. I was not truly mad at you, but Georgia. You shouldn't have said those things, even if I did, and still do, believe them to be true. I'm the one who should apologize, not you. I know you well enough, Sam, to understand how you feel. When you get fixated with things, you're unable to tear yourself away from them, even though they may cause you pain. So what did Lillian say to you earlier? Nothing revolutionary. She said she was no good for me and I was no good for her. She said I was too clingy and the relationship was unhealthy. And she said I should go and see a therapist. This all sounds perfectly reasonable. Of course it was reasonable. Lillian is always reasonable, but that's the problem. She's so reasonable, she's incapable of seeing how her words affect me. Or maybe she just doesn't care. Maybe this whole time I was just deluding myself. Lillian is never going to like me. She was right. We really are too different. But you still like her. That's right. In fact, it's even more than that. Much, much more. I love her, Bobby. I love her so much. I think about her all the time, in almost every single waking moment, and even my sleeping ones too. She has become such a large part of my life. I don't think I could be myself anymore if I did not love her. Even now, even though she hurt me so much, even so, I can't stop myself. I still love her. Shh. It will be alright. You'll forget about her in time. That's what I told myself too, but 3 months later I still haven't. I can't. It's not possible. I care for her too much. Don't be silly. There's nothing that you can't do. You just need to believe in yourself. That's the trouble. I can't believe in myself. I have no faith in myself at all. I can only hope when I'm with Lillian. She gave me a purpose, Bobby. A reason for living. After I met her, I forgot my worries, like waking up from a bad dream. I forgot about my home, family, my father, and could only see her instead. But you are only friends. You may have been best friends, yes, but it's nothing more than that. I know that. Not to her at least, but to me. What do you mean? I mean, though you are my friend, Roberta, and I love you, the love I have for Lillian is different. It's always been different. But what about Simon? Don't you have any feelings for him? Simon doesn't really have anything to do with this. What do you mean? He is your boyfriend, isn't he? I haven't spoken to him in 3 months, Bobby. You hardly spoke to Lillian these last 3 months, yet you're still devoted to her. I can't explain it. I don't have any feelings for Simon. Then why did you agree to go out with him? To see if I did. I thought maybe I might. There was always a chance, and you're sensible, Roberta. I trusted your judgment, but it did not work out. Not entirely, no. I'm not upset about that anyway. Only a little bit. I don't really think about it anymore. You think only about Lillian? Yes. It's always been her. Only her. But why? Why do you say you love her when she's so cold to you? I know I can sometimes be harsh to you, Sam, but I'm nothing like Lillian. I don't know, I can explain it. Love isn't the most rational of emotions. If it were, many great plays and poems would not exist. I just think she's so worthy. She's better than me in almost every single regard, and I love her for it, because she is superior. She's beautiful, she's talented, she's industrious, she's everything I want to be and everything I cannot. You envy her. I do envy her, but that isn't all. Though it hurts, being so utterly inferior, I'm glad Lillian exists in my life and I was given the opportunity to know her. In all honesty, I feel like I don't deserve her time. Maybe that's why I cannot hate her for being cruel to me, because it only seems natural. You're so silly. Friendship shouldn't be a case of deserving one another. You should be equals. I know that, but I could never think of myself as equal to her. Not now. I love her too much for that. I really am hopeless. So, your feelings for her aren't just a friendship? I don't think so. But you're not sure. Not entirely. I mean, I don't understand myself very well, and it doesn't make it any easier. But I think I really do love her. Otherwise, why else would I feel so terrible? Bobby? I suppose it is a little surprising, but it makes sense. That may explain why you have always idolized Lillian so much, even though she can be so cruel. So, you don't mind? I don't mind. It isn't really any of my business. Simon might, though. I don't want to think about Simon, but he thinks about you. He really likes you. I wish he didn't. I wish he hated me. I don't know why he likes you so much either, given you're so difficult. It must be because you were his first girlfriend. Please don't say that. It wasn't his girlfriend, but you did sleep together. It was just an experiment. I didn't enjoy it. And you say Lillian can be cruel. You know, if you lived in an earlier century, you would be married to Simon right now with a child on the way. Back then, wayward girls like yourself who slept with men before marriage had to face the consequences. Well, it's a very good thing we don't live in an earlier century, because that would be utterly miserable. Who are you to judge me anyway, Roberta? You've slept with Edmund and you are not married. No, but I've been dating him for more than a year. We genuinely love him, quite unlike you and Simon. But you're still the one who introduced me to him. You should take some responsibility. I did it to cheer you up. I thought you might come to like him given time. Simon is a sweetheart and you need somebody nice to you. He is a sweetheart, but I can't love somebody simply because they are sweet. There was no attraction, no connection, no anything. He was not even familiar with Kant, Roberta. Your criteria for potential partners really is odd, Sam. Only you would rank a general knowledge of German philosophers as being more important than kindness. Please don't tease me, Bobby. Anyway, I don't like him and that's the end of that. I don't like him before we slept together and I don't like him any more now that we have done. Is that because of William? Maybe. You really are obsessed. You follow her around like a lost puppy with a wagging tail. I'm not surprised you fell in love with such a distant person. It suits you perfectly. You really do enjoy making yourself miserable after all. I don't need to hear that right now, Roberta. I feel sad. Because of Lillian. That's right. I'm scared. I'm scared of going back to St. Mary's and being alone in my room again with nothing to do. No hope at all. No reason to get out of bed. I don't want it to happen again. I don't want to languish in despair even though I do it so often. I truly don't. I want to get better. But how can I get better without William? Silly. Bobby. You won't be alone. You still have me and I will not leave you. We have been friends since we were children and that will not change. Even though in less than a year we will become adults. I'll still stay with you. You need somebody to watch out for you. Heaven knows what foolish things you'd get up to on your own. But Lily, forget her. I can't. Then don't. If you ever feel you miss her too much, please tell me. I'll be there just like I was when we were young. Things are never really as bad as you believe them to be, Sam. No matter how you feel, you're not alone. I won't go anywhere. I promise.
On the shoreline after sunset, watching seabirds soar, feet in the sand with my head in my hand. This luxury pushing our souls harmony, nature's great sanctuary. Harmony for every living thing. How long, how long, how long
Yay, so we finished that with the Roberta ending. I'll try to do other routes next time, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I enjoyed that a lot. So see you next time. Bye bye.